One Ring, and I'm here today joined by no other than Noa, the Empress of the SuperLiga, to bring you some news about the upcoming Iberian Cup. Now, how does it feel not only to be the current EU Masters champions, but also having some teams entering the LEC?
Well, it's gonna be like a very odd Iberian Cup, honestly. Not only because of the teams, we will discuss this later. But yes, it's like super exciting. It's been a while since the last time we got to win European Masters. It was 4 years ago. So we are in quite a privileged spot right now in the SuperLiga. So it's gonna be a fun European Masters for sure.
Absolutely. But now let's talk about Iberian Cup. The format changed quite a bit, only having Spanish teams. What does this mean exactly?
In my opinion, it's gonna be less fun. Honestly, I enjoyed a lot having like the Portuguese teams, and last year also the Italian teams. But as far as I understand, each league right now has his own Pro-Am tournament. So Iberian Cup is gonna be only Spanish teams. We're gonna have for sure. We're gonna have Superliga teams, second division teams, and teams from the Amateur Tour. So we have a bunch of people clashing together in the Iberian Cup, and this concept, like the fact that you have more amateur, semi-professional teams, it's always an opportunity for the players to show themselves up. In another years, we actually had some surprises. So for sure, I'm expecting them right now to happen.
And I think this new format is pretty relevant for the Spanish competitive ecosystem, because there is this opportunity for these amateur teams to compete against professionals. So it's an experience for them, as well as discovering new talent, maybe.
Definitely. I mean, a couple of years ago, it was in 2019, where the S2V team was playing as S2V, but they actually were competing in the Iberian Cup with the academy roster, and they got into semifinals. And that team was going to be drafted completely the next year by another SuperLiga roster that was due to Heretics. So that was the perfect opportunity for a bunch of rookies to show themselves, to prove themselves versus the best players in the Spanish competition. So you always have the surprises. You always have this opportunity to show yourself, to prove yourself versus the best, and earn your spot in SuperLiga in the next year.
Absolutely. There is one particular change I would love to focus on, which is the fearless draft. For those who don't know what we're talking about, in a series, once a champion has been played once by a team, that team cannot pick that champion again. Although the ban system remains the same, with 5 bans for each team, but this is really exciting. How will it differ in those best of 3s and best of 5 scenarios? There has to be more creativity in drafts and in adaptation during a series.
I mean, adaptation is gonna be one hell of a thing in this Iberian Cup. I am so looking forward to see teams like Bisons competing in this new format, because it's like they are gonna show all the aces under the sleeve they have. But for sure, it's gonna be some sort of a penalty for another teams that maybe don't have that wide champion pool. So you really have to adapt. You really need to open your champion pool, open your mind to new things, to new flexes. It's gonna be really, really fun. I am going to cast this. I am going to be there, but I really don't know what to expect when it comes to the fearless draft. And it's not only the fearless draft. It's for sure the thing when it comes to the best of 5. We go back to the past, because we're gonna have the fearless draft during the whole tournament, because it's gonna be best of 3s. But when it comes to the best of 5s, we go back to the old LCK days, and we got to have a 5th map. It's gonna be blind pick again. I'm really looking forward for the Yuumi versus Yuumi. Yeah, it's gonna be the nastiest thing ever. The most disgusting drafts, you're gonna have them. Iberian Cup, we always memed about the competition being explosive Iberian Cup. Oh my God, you didn't know what to expect about the Iberian Cup in the last years because of the amateur teams coming up and that stuff. But this year is definitely gonna be explosive and unpredictable and all that stuff.
That is actually really exciting, because there might be some new strategies, some new I don't know, new team compositions that can actually people figure they actually work, and maybe they start playing them in regular competitive scenarios. So this is pretty exciting. I really can't wait to see these teams playing. Now, moving forward to something that is also quite exciting, it's the teams, and I really wanted to know a little bit more about them, because right now you have teams moving to the LEC. But there are also teams that are coming into this tournament, both strong ones and maybe upcoming talent, as we talked about in the second division teams.
Yeah.
For those who might not know the Spanish competitive scene, which players or teams should we keep our eyes on, and why? What are we expecting?
I mean, since the context is going to be so different because of the Fearless draft, for sure the expectations need to change a bit, even just a bit. The fact is that right now, while we are recording this, we didn't have all the info about the team, so we need to make to suppose what is going to happen. And Superliga teams and second division teams, I think they are going to be overall quite the same, even though, for example, we have some changes in Movistar Riders, in Bisons there are going to be changes as well. I think in Mad Lions Madrid also we have changes, and this is going to be a team very interesting to see, because Mad Lions literally demoted this season to second division, so they are going to be competing again versus the Superliga teams. I really think this is some sort of a wounded lion that is gonna try to prove themselves again, since the year has been a disaster for the organization in Spain, like domestically speaking. So it's gonna be a good moment for them to redemption. To look for redemption. This is gonna, in my opinion, this is a team you should be looking to, just to check on the narratives. Also, for example, Movistar Riders had a terrible summer. They made some changes in the mid lane and also the support lane, but they are relentless, and they are looking for that redemption as well. In my opinion, Bisons, you literally have to check on them, because this is their format. It looks like my bot literally arranging this for Bisons to win.
But why do you say that?
I mean, I made maths, and Bisons is a team that during the year played, I think it was 83 different champions with the same lineup. They played literally 83 different champions, and I'm not saying that that Riot Games literally copied our graphics for the Worlds in terms of diversity of champions, but they actually did it. But the fact is that they played 83 different champions and flexed around 20 of them, more than 20 of them. It was literally nuts. So this format is just for them. So they can make their creativity to shine. But the fact is that you don't have Gubi, and Gubi enabled you to that craziness, because Gubi loves to play, or was able to play, maybe not love, but was able to play those mages, and not mages, because he played Renekton bot once, so that crazy stuff was in part because having Gubi in the roster. So I'm really looking forward to see how Bisons is doing. Also, for example, one team you need to keep your eyes on is going to be the team from second division that has been promoted to Superliga. That is Guasones. That is a team made of young promises, honestly. They earned their way to Superliga. They are competing here for the first time as a Superliga team, as a first division team. And it's going to be so exciting to watch them play versus the Superliga teams, because we only got to see them clash versus the two last teams in Superliga, and also the first one in second division. Is going to be crazy to watch them trying to earn their way to the finals. And for sure, for example, there are always some interesting teams that come from the amateur tour, like the Cali Kiwis. Rambut has been, if I'm not mistaken right now, because I'm speaking by heart, the champions from the amateur league. So that is definitely a team you need to be aware of, not because I am expecting them to win the whole tournament, but because they have players that maybe are going to be competing in the Superliga or the second division in the next year.
Yeah, that is pretty exciting. I really can't wait. And one thing that you just mentioned that I wanted to focus as well before heading on to the next topic is like, okay, you do need to have a vast champion pool because the Fearless format needs you to have those. You cannot repeat. But it's not only having a diverse champion pool, but also that those diverse champions fit with each other in the same composition. And that is something hard.
I am really sorry about the staffs in the teams that have to prepare for this tournament. I would love to see maybe for the next year. It's like, thank you Araujo for the Fearless format, but I would love to see a judgment around the Fearless draft format that allowed you that, you picked, for example, you picked Renekton in the first game. Okay, you cannot pick Renekton top again, but maybe you can flex it. You're allowed to flex it. So if you want to first pick Renekton, the other in the second game, the other team are gonna be aware that Renekton is gonna head towards the top side again. Maybe you're gonna play it in the mid lane. Maybe if you are Bisons, you're gonna play it in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
But maybe allowing those flexes would be also quite interesting. I don't think that is gonna happen this year. I'm just supposing, but I'm adding some spark of creativity for the upcoming Iberian Cups. But it's like you need a wider champion pool. You need a ton more of work to put into that for the sake of winning this tournament, because some teams in the SuperLiga, and that has been a problem for some years, are really straightforward. It's like, we play this. We play tank, carry, control mage, engage support, maybe something flexible in the jungle. Okay, we drafted that in the first game. What is gonna happen in the next one? Maybe that is gonna work in the first in the best of threes, but in the best of fives, I am expecting apocalypse. Literally, I am expecting apocalypse. What is gonna happen when you head on to the fifth game and you have 20 champions that you can't play?
Yeah. You have to try to come up with some, I don't know, Nico mid lane with a Sona AD carry. I don't know, Master Yi jungle again. We shall see what can happen. Now, lastly, we couldn't leave without mentioning the finals. Noah, you once told me that PortAventura was the happiest place on earth, and I kind of agree with you. So now tell me, how fantastic is going to be to have the finals, to compete and to watch League of Legends there?
I'm just thinking about going into the Shambhala for 5 times in a row. That's literally the only thing I'm carrying. But yeah, definitely, I'm so excited. I'm like a 5-year-old girl when it comes to PortAventura. It's like my favorite place in Spain, probably. Well, maybe that's too much, but it's one of the places I enjoy the most in Spain. It's like I love roller coasters. I love them all. And it's gonna be so fun to make the finals, to have the finals in PortAventura. Definitely, we're gonna have the studio, and also it's gonna be finals while it's gonna be okay. It's not gonna be full Halloween, but it's gonna be really close the Halloween theme in PortAventura. So it's gonna be. I expect it to be a bit spooky, like in terms of entrance and that kind of stuff. Who knows? Even though it's gonna be in November. And also it's gonna be really close to my birthday, so I take it as a birthday present. Thank you very much, LVP, for this birthday present. But for sure it's gonna be so fun. It's like people coming to PortAventura to watch the finals. Iberian Cup finals are always fun. It's like
absolutely.
It's a live event. It's a live event, and that's the only thing that matters. That you can watch the finals, enjoy League of Legends. That's the only thing that matters, and in the happiest place in the world. What else can you ask?
It's gonna be a roller coaster experience for sure. Not only for the actual thing, but also of emotions of League of Legends, emotions with this new format, with everything that's going on. It's gonna be fantastic. So Noah, thank you so much for your time. I am super excited for Iberian Cup, and you at home should definitely be too.
We are. Thank you very much for having me. I'm gonna miss you guys. It's like having the Portuguese teams was always a pleasure. Having the Italian teams was a pleasure. So I'm really gonna miss you. I'm really gonna miss you guys.
Yeah.
I hope that we can have like a tournament together again soon. So please, Riot, allow us again.
Yes, please. But it's gonna be super fun, and I really can't wait to watch it.
Thank you very much. Love you all.